About 2 years ago, I started doing walking meditations, and it served as a means for me to just clear my thoughts, document my journal, so to speak, kind of create a digital diary. And I found that there were people who actually got on board with this, and I stopped because I realized something about myself. I realized that I have a problem with consistency. But it's not just having a problem with consistency. There are other elements that underlie in this process, and so let's unpack it. I have always had an issue with my self-worth. I've always felt as though I was undeserving of the success that I so deeply wanted, but every time I would try and reach out and grab it, I always found a way to sabotage myself. It'd either be, I'm too sore to go to the gym, so I'll just take, a day off. A day led to 2 days, 2 days led to a week, and then I'd enter the same cycle. It would be like this even, documenting a journey, and then I would think, I need to perfect my edits, I need to perfect my script, I need to basically come across as the flawless people that, seemingly flawless people that talk on camera. And so if it's not like that, then I'm going to delete it. Or if I had a bit of a hot streak, I would then get too attached to the metrics based around engagement, and I would fall off. This is textbook perfectionism 101 and the need for external validation. The need for external validation, and also the underlying problem of consistency. Now, there is a deeper process that I recently have started unpacking, and the results actually make a lot of sense. So I have always had the sneaking suspicion that I am neurodiverse. Not to attach a label or to, kind of shift blame onto something external, but for the sake of understanding. And so I recently started speaking to one of my friends who's a therapist, and we started working together to unpack just what's been going on. And yeah, the findings were pretty surprising, yet not surprising at the same time. So I definitely have elements of neurodiversity present within my psyche. And a lot of that is down to the fact that I pick up and read energy very, very easily. I also have a tendency to put my heart and soul into something for a high intense period of time. I can actually learn a skill and become very obsessed with it, but then the moment something else comes up that seems like it could be more lucrative, I then fall into a pattern of chasing that, because I have this belief system that if I just continue to value stack, I will cash out and make like a million pounds, or become this like Bruce Wayne billionaire overnight. And when it doesn't happen, I then decide to drop everything, pivot out, and try and find something else. I've had friends who've told me that yes, I really struggle with consistency. I've had my parents talk to me about this. I never really understood why, but now it starts to make sense. So what do we do with that? If you're somebody who also has struggled with your attention span, with learning new skills, picking up something and then putting it down just as quickly, or the moment that you don't yield results or rewards, what is the thing that you can do? I'm not about to give you some cookie cutter advice like, just sit with it and try and find your passion, because especially if you are someone who has neurodiversity present in their psyche, you are not gonna find something that is gonna hold your attention for long enough before you pivot out of that. It's just not possible. The trick is reflective writing. What do I mean by reflective writing? No, I don't mean just picking up a journal and then writing, "Dear diary, today I woke up and brushed my teeth in a certain way, and I'm not sure what that means, or thinking about, something very vague. I'm talking about actually doing the reflective pieces. So looking back on your day, looking back on elements that spoke to you, looking deep within yourself, understanding what part spoke to you, understanding why. Or if you don't understand why, you need to ask the question why. Why is it that that instance triggered you? Why is it that that rejection or the conversation that didn't go your way made you feel a certain way? Why is it that when you thought about putting on your shoes to go to the gym, you suddenly had the urge or the resistance, or your brain wanted to naturally default into a state of comfort? All these thoughts, especially if you are neurodiverse, but you know what? Let's just forget that label for now, because I feel like this is something that is all too common in today's day and age. There's a lack of consistency due to this belief that quick money is made, or that results come quick and easy. But then it's also being reinforced with this grind culture, this hustle, this need to constantly be working like 25 out of 24 hours a day. You need to be grinding non-stop, and if you don't, then you're a worthless human being, that you can't have habits, or you can't do things that don't aid towards productivity. This is the reason why so many people feel that they just cannot achieve anything. Your attention is being split by two polar extremes and being used to weaponize against you. So the way in which we unpack that, because that's getting stored in our mind, it's overloading our neural pathways, it's then hijacking our belief systems. And if your belief system works in a certain way, then you're going to start internalizing that. And from that internalization, it's going to become your external behavior. And that behavior then becomes your reality. And then before you know it, you're living a life that isn't truly even yours. And that's one of the saddest things that I think any person could experience or go through. So let's go back to reflective writing. The reflection is simple. You have to ask yourself why. And when you come to your next example, or your next point, ask yourself why again. And keep asking yourself why until you are heading all the way back to the root cause of whatever you can remember. Usually it'll be something as early as your childhood. So for example, one of my biggest issues was to do with this concept of chasing money. And so I asked myself, well, why is that? I kept asking myself why until I got back to my childhood roots, where I didn't have a bad childhood or anything at all. I'm actually very privileged. But because my experience and my belief was, because my parents got divorced when I was young, I moved away to the UK. I grew up away from another side of my family for so long that I needed to be, as rich as I possibly could for it to be worth it in the end, right? So there was an emotional trade-off for the monetary payout, understand? Or maybe that's the other way around. Maybe there was a monetary trade-off for an emotional payout, because I felt that I needed to basically make sure that everything was worth it. Now this right here is a core limiting belief. Because of this limiting belief, I then felt that I needed to chase money. I needed to make money in whichever way that I possibly could. And subsequently of that, I did lots of little jobs. I worked, I worked in retail. After that, I stopped. I then joined the military. I had a career in the army. From that career, I went into the medical field. From the medical field, I went into the private medical sector. That then collapsed. I started working as a Reiki master within my family business. And then I started doing content creation, editing. I just did so many things in the attempts and hopes that I would make a lot of money. It never really went anywhere because I couldn't stick to one thing. The moment something became hard, I pivoted out of it. That right there is a limiting belief that then branched off and became a new reality of mine. So that is something that can be addressed just through honest, reflective writing. When you open your journal, when you open your book, and make sure that it is writing. Make sure that you're writing using a pen and paper or a notebook, so that the action of putting pen to paper, connecting mind and body, is now creating this like feedback loop, this system that whatever you're feeling is coming to the surface, and then whatever is coming to the surface is being transmuted by being scribed onto your piece of paper. And when you do that and you look at whatever it is that comes out, it doesn't even have to make sense, but when you look at it for long enough, it will make sense, because you know deep down inside that's been your truth all along. It's been your narrative. It is the reason why you behave in the way you do. It's the reason why you feel the way you do about things. It's the reason why you have this persona to life. It's the reason why you feel as though you don't deserve. It's the reason why you feel that you can't do things. There's a lot of reasons why, all of which can be unpacked by reflective writing. So that's my thought for the day. So also, let this be a video that serves as a start to a new beginning, where I will consistently be posting my walking meditations, my walks and talks or whatever. So yeah, I hope this video finds you well. If you liked something here, if you resonated with this video, be sure to engage with it, share it with somebody who, it might actually impact. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.